Re a lemogela with the University of Limpopo Student Entrepreneurship Week 2020. Now, I am excited about this one. Good day and welcome. Mashoto, Mphahlele. I am a media student at the University of Limpopo. I am also CEO and founder of Mesh Organics. Now, today it is going to be a very interesting day because we are going to be focusing on practice-based entrepreneurships. For more information about this Student Entrepreneurship Week, we'll be talking to our administrator, Mr. Mphahlele. Mr. Mphahlele, welcome to Student Entrepreneurship Week 2020. Now, tell us more about this week.
So this week we're going to be celebrating, or we are celebrating Student Entrepreneurship Week, which is a project by EDHE, which is a program by the Department of Education and Training, which seeks to promote and encourage students to pursue entrepreneurship as a career. So basically we want to show students that there's more to just studying. You know, you can study and yet become a student entrepreneur, which is what we call a studentpreneur. So hence we are celebrating this week.
Yes, so why practice-based entrepreneurship?
So at the University of Limpopo, we chose to focus on practice-based entrepreneurship because we want to show students that there's more that you can do with your qualification. You can use your qualification to become more than just a practitioner, but an entrepreneur in your own field. Hence, we are focusing on practice-based entrepreneurship.
And it is still practice-based entrepreneurship. And today we have a special guest. His name is Moreroa. He's going to be telling us about his business in publishing. And he's here.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. So today we are talking about practice-based entrepreneurship. And I want to ask you something. Tell us more about your business.
All right. Publishing, we deal with production of books.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with what we call print on demand, which means we print as fast as possible. Within a few minutes, we can print over 1,000 books because we use cutting-edge machines. Mm-hmm. So what we do, we specialize in self-publishing after realizing that there's so much potential in storytelling from our local people who for the longest time have been struggling to score publishing deals because of exorbitant costs that are involved, because from editing to proofing to your typesetting to your graphic designs to all of those things, to your marketing, to getting to sell your books to the rest of your world, to the rest of the world from online facilities. So it happened that when I wanted to publish my own book, then I've met so many challenges and so many gruesome processes that one needs to follow. Then I realized that no, there is a gap that so many people go through this and at the end of the day fail to publish. So I needed to bridge that gap. That's when I went into publishing.
Oh, okay, interesting. So do you believe that, since we are focusing then on practice-based entrepreneurship, do you believe that the curriculum is helping the students, you know, in terms of practicing what they have studied?
Definitely. For someone like me who studied media and communications, it comes in handy because in publishing, there is an element of editing. There's element of communication, there's element of graphics, there's element of branding, advertising, all of these things, creative writing, all of these things are incorporated in the curriculum as we study. So I would say that was all in one for me because everything that I do now as business stems from that information from studies.
Okay, interesting. So I want to know, what was your biggest milestone in starting your enterprise?
Okay, the biggest milestone was that I published my own book. So my company, the first client of my company was myself. And for that, I've learned so many processes of publishing, dealing with all stakeholders involved, dealing with fleet in terms of distributing books to bookstores, in terms of getting it to libraries and doing legal deposit at the National Library. So it was very informative. Now, the biggest milestone as I published my own book, then I managed to venture into a different subsidiaries within the business where I made editing a standalone because I realized that editing in itself it has got a lot to do with creativity and has got its own regulations. Then there's a marketing part. All of these things, I made them subsidiaries so that we don't only help someone who wants to self-publish, but there could be someone who wants only editing. Hence, we even do academic editing, we do business writing and all those things. So that was to expand the scope of our operations. And the biggest milestone to date is that we've got over 900 titles, and we are still crawling. Yes, we are not that old. So because the word of mouth, so many people realize that, oh, it's possible, because we wanted the black child to tell their own stories. You know, you remember our parents, they used to tell so much folklore by fireside. So we still have people who've got those stories, but they are unable to get them out there. So our biggest milestone is seeing people telling their stories through us.
So what are some of the challenges that you have faced in your business thus far?
Access to the market. You know, the value chain, the supply chain. It's so strict that there's so much capitalism in it. The conveyor belt. For instance, most of the people who own bookstores are the people who are in production. So when you say, okay, here's an offer in Limpopo, and the target market is in Limpopo, you go to a mall to find a bookstore and you say, can we put the books on your shelf? What are your criterion and stuff? They would tell you that you need to speak to the national office. They send you to Cape Town. When you go to Cape Town, now they send you to their own distributor. When you go to their own distributor, they tell you how much they want you to print. Remember, this so many authors are in self-publishing, which means they do not have enough money to go through all of those processes because they are quite expensive. And even the marketing side of it. So the access now to take the products into the actual bookstores to expand the reach of our clients, that's a serious problem because there's so much red tape there.
Okay. Well, in most cases, we get told that, okay, go to school, get a job, and that's it. But you overcame all of that, the norms, and you started a business. What advice would you give to all media students who like to get into publishing, but they don't know where to start?
Oh, the fear of not unleashing all of my prospects was the biggest push, because I've realized that we have fear in ourselves. So we fear the unknown, that this so-and-so that we look up to has managed, now they are a journalist, now they are editors and what. Even how they teach us. They don't teach us to be our own bosses. They teach us to be compliant in practice. So I would say to those who are in the same field that study to become the best version of yourself. And that would not be an employee, but someone who creates so many opportunities through their knowledge. Because we are in unemployment fiasco now, simply because we all want to go through that belt of becoming a journalist, of working for so and so and so. If we were having this mentality that out of this qualification, I want to expand the sector, then all of us are going to have that piece of the pie.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I hope everyone at home is learning something from you, because I am definitely learning something.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you. All right, there you have it from Moses Moreroa. I hope you guys are learning something from home, media student. I hope you guys are listening and getting something from this experience.